Honourable
Mr.
I call the Honourable Shane Jones.
Mr. Speaker, tēnā koe. Mr. Speaker, I want to preface this 10-minute speech. This 10-minute speech by reminding, sir, members on the other side, in particular Tauhenare, that where we both hail from, there's a famous proverb: small though the dogfish may be, large is the wake in the volume, inversely related to the multitudes. So I'd like to speak on behalf of the 20 members. I'd like to alert the House, and I'd like to alert those New Zealanders, sir, who were watching the former Speaker, that Maunga, his seat is Maunga kia kia, and to the Ngāpuhi kia kia is the cry of the Mōpok, sir. And there is a certain sort of sleepy, tired, jaded character reflected in the faces of our fellow colleagues, of our colleagues on the other side of the House, sir. But actually, sir, I see Simon Power sitting there, and sir, we know that shortly he will be going to look at productivity, and I've no doubt while he's away he'll contemplate what can be done to improve Jerry Brownlee's conception of productivity. What can be done to improve his numeracy in terms of how to count days during the months in the entire year's calendar, so that you don't sort of have this sort of pile up at the end of the year, sir, which is actually something of an outrage in the context of productivity. So an important part of productivity, which this bill in its far-ranging writ is going to have the chance to study, sir, is the impact on our Constitution and its relationship with the economy. So this evening the Constitution has been upheld as a consequence of members from that side of the House remaining here in Te Upoko, Te Ika, Wellington, right up, sir, probably to 9, 10 past 9, 20 past 9. I'm sure, sir, future statisticians, when they look at metrics for defining how extensive productivity has been tonight, sir, in terms of defining... So before I finish talking about the connection between the Constitution and productivity, I'm about soon, sir, to go to looking at productivity statistics in the airlines industry, and whether or not, sir, there is scope for the airline industry to actually delay the departure of flights out of the head of the fish to the tail of the fish, and whether or not, sir, they'll build into their cost measures and a reward for those members on that side of the House who are unwilling to challenge the foolishness of their leader of the House and have enjoyed a Saturday, which a number of us have, sir, right into the wee hours of Thursday. And so that Thursday will always be memorialised by the connection between my relation Tauhenare and a banana. And so
Where is he?
Sir, that laugh, sir, I want it noted that laugh is not an accurate reflection on the glum expressions on the other side of the House, etc.
Well, I think it's a question where he put the
No. Sir, I won't go down that. After my year, I won't go down that direction, sir. I want to come back to talking. I want to go. Oh, sir, Simon Power stands up, and I just want the House to know that Simon Power's township of Martin, whenever he misbehaves, we're going to give the Māori name for his township, which is Tūtainui. And let him know, sir, that a lot of his kōrero and a lot of his behaviour, sir, may actually be informed by the Māori name for that township. Anyhow, sir, I want to come back to some of the reasons why this side of the House are going to vote for this bill. We actually want, sir, Rodney Hyde, sir, to take this bill forward and make a success of it, because there is no one on that side of the House that is actually generating a fresh set of ideas that's going to create jobs, incentivise investment, and pick up the young people leaving school, Polytech, and place them in the labour market so they can get some practical skills, sir, to begin earning a living, because under the current policies, sir, not only will they struggle to generate enough earnings from a substandard education, but they're unlikely ever to own their own home. So I've just seen a vision of 2 mangrove berries in the face of the member from the Hauraki district. That's actually inversely related to productivity. But, sir, another thing, sir, we're hoping that the Minister will pick up on is that when the members of the new Productivity Commission are chosen, they are people who have tenacity. They are people who show resilience. They are people who are prepared to turn up for work day after day after day, hour after hour, minute after minute, and ensure, sir, that the integrity of this institution, the highest court in the Parliament, is actually upheld, and that speeches are made, sir, that consume the last possible minute, so that not a skerrick or a sliver of the time allotted, sir, is squandered. That's why, sir, we'll be supporting this bill pertaining to productivity. We'll also, sir, be looking forward as to whether or not some members on that side of the House may actually be looking for jobs on this Productivity Commission after the next election, sir. And I'm prepared to appeal to Mr Mallard, given that he's likely to be the responsible minister appointing the characters onto this Productivity Commission. I'm prepared to appeal on behalf of some... Well, I got to tell you, for the member from the Coromandel district, Jose's tongue looks a lot better than that. When he does the haka, you can actually see it's an item or an icon of cultural prestige. That, sir, looks as if that she's sitting too close to the Minister of Agriculture, who does need a dose of productivity, because that man, sir, has enraged the most powerful and frightening businessman in Auckland, known as Michael Stiassny. That man, sir, has gone out of his way to potentially ruin the international meat export industry by focusing his finicky level of interest on unnecessary rules, harsh regulations, and he has alienated, sir, the community that Michael Stiassny comes from. And not only, sir, has he caused the Crown to incur a bill which is somewhere near $400,000 or $500,000, he's living proof, sir, of why this Productivity Commission is needed. Because virtually every agricultural thing that he's become involved in, horticultural as well, sir, is going to need a massive dose of productivity. But so we look forward to working constructively with our colleagues on the other side of the House and being open with them and candid, so that they know our views, sir, about the types of people who ought to be appointed to the Productivity Commission. Sir, we don't really want to conceal any information from them. We don't want to obfuscate. We don't want to mislead them that they may think that their prospects are worse or better. I mean, all Mr Mallard has done is isolated the number of people that have waited this late in the evening to contribute to the debate. And we're suitably impressed to see Mr Quinn and a host of others here at this faithfully late hour, sir. And we're coming back to the Productivity Commission bill. We look forward to seeing the types of reports, sir, that will lie upon the table of the House of Representatives after they've been commissioned, come via the responsible minister, etc. And so we hope that a number of those reports are generated from the firms and the actual investors in the economy, because they need, sir, an avenue to bring forward their concerns, given that the ears of the current ministers are blocked. They know, sir, that jobs are not emerging, that debt, sir, still remains a problem, that capital formation is still a weakness in the economy. So if it's possible, sir, through this Productivity Commission, which we've helped come into being by ensuring that a large number of the government ministers and government members of the House have remained here for the 72-hour Thursday sit. We're particularly impressed with their tenacity. Now, whether or not, sir, they may entertain rather uncharitable thoughts as to how many of us have remained on, sir, I'd like to just finish by reminding them, and in particular my relation tau henare, of the kōrero. The small though the dogfish, the pioke be, large as its volume and wake as it makes progress, And progress, sir, does not depend on multitudes of